Hello, so I've got a pile of chisels that all need sharpening. I've been putting it off. And one of the reasons is I hate sharpening. I've got a little sharpening stone, it moves around and it frustrates me. So I thought I'm going to build a proper sharpening station. So I spoke to Trend and they've sent me a new sharpening stone, a Dimond one. Now, it comes in a nice pouch and it comes with a non-slip mat. And they do work really well, but I want something even better. I wanted this new one because it's so much thicker than the one I had before, and that's going to make it easier to mount it. It's also much bigger and much heavier. It definitely feels better quality. So my plan is to mount it onto a board of wood that's going to go into the vise. So the first job is to cut this down to a manageable size. Now I need a way of being able to get this into the vise. So what I've got is a little scrap of 3x2 that's been cut down already. So now I can get that cut to the width of this board on the table saw. Now I've got this little scrap, I can get it put in the vise, get some glue on, the board put on top and screwed in. I want it so it's level with the front of the vise, and you'll see why in a second. So this fits in the vise nicely now. So I need to attach the actual sharpening block. Now I've gone from my scrap bin and found these little bits of sapele which are just about the perfect thickness. So I'm just get a couple of bits cut down to go on the front and the back of this. So I could just get those glued into place, but what I've also got is a honing guide. Now, I've been doing it freehand for years, so all my chisels have a different angle, so I thought it was about time I sorted that out. Now, according to this, if you want a 25-degree angle, you need to set this 40 centimetres in. Now, I could measure it each time, but it'd be a lot easier if I just had a stop on here. So what I think I'll do is if I glue the first bit of wood on 40 centimetres in, 40 millimetres in, I can use that as a stop and all my chisels should be exactly the same. That's the theory anyway. So 40 millimetres, let's get it right now, marked in, then I'm just going to get it glued and tacked into place. What I'm going to do is get a square on the side so that I put this on nice and straight. With the first one in place, I can get the sharpening stone on, get the second one in and then tacked on. So this whole thing is just going to go together with a friction fit so that it's easy to remove the stone for cleaning. Or the diamond plate, I probably should call it. So I know this is just a simple shop project, but with the different coloured bits of wood, and it's just a bit of scrap palette wood, some of it, I think I'm going to stain it all black with some India ink. Why is it that you can never find a small brush? So you might have noticed there's actually quite a big gap left on here, and believe it or not, that's actually intentional because I have a bit of leather that I'm going to get on there as a strop. It doesn't need to be any particular size, so all I'm going to do is square it up just to make it look a bit neater and make it easier to install. I want to get this attached with some contact adhesive, which means you need to apply it to both surfaces. So I'm just going to draw around the leather so that I've got a template to apply it to the base. I can get the glue applied to both surfaces, and then you need to wait about 10 minutes for it to go tacky and then get them pushed together. I've drawn the lines so I can get it lined up perfectly because there is no margin for error for this. When the two surfaces touch each other, that's it, they're bonded. It's all gone tacky, so now I can very carefully line this up with my marks and get it pushed into place. Perfect. Sharpening can be a bit of a messy process, so I want to seal this all up now. So I'm just going to apply some beeswax oil to the wood, not onto the leather. This is all dry and ready to be used now then. So I've got my honing guide. I can get my chisel put in and start to tighten it up. Then I can get the chisel pushed against the stop, push the honing guide against the edge of the board and finishing tightening it. And get a bit of oil put onto the stone. Then the honing guide goes on and I can just start sharpening. Happy with my progress on one side, and that's on the 300 grit, so I'm going to swap this stone over or flip it over and continue on the 1000 grit. Right, I think that's going to be enough on that side. Now, I can get some polishing compound onto my strop and give this several strops to remove any burrs. That has left a lovely, consistent, polished edge, which is beautifully sharp. So thank you to Trend for sending me this. I'll put links down to the bits I used down below. Thank you for watching. Thank you to my patrons. Now if you excuse me, I've got lots more chisels to sharpen.